U.S. Navy's billion-dollar flying aircraft carrier. Imagine soaring through the skies in a marvel of modern technology, a machine worth billions, a testament to human ingenuity and ambition. The U.S. Navy is set to change the game forever. Hello and welcome to our channel. Today we are taking an exclusive look at the United States' most expensive and technologically advanced flying aircraft. These aren't just any planes, they are billion-dollar behemoths that represent the pinnacle of aerospace engineering. Think about a future where the U.S. Navy's power takes to the skies and turns aircraft carriers into soaring fortresses. This idea, which used to only exist in science fiction, is getting closer to being true. Imagine that these huge ships, which used to rule the seas, now rule the sky. People have thought about this big idea for a long time, but now it's being brought back to life after the end of World War II. As seen in this future story, the U.S. Navy is about to make a big change that will make it more like the U.S. Air Force. These carriers that fly through the sky are meant to show off the best of American naval strength. The concept of flying aircraft carriers is new, but it has roots in the past. However, the latest advances in technology have given this big project new life. The U.S. wants to be the first country to use these cutting-edge ships. Why is this idea becoming more popular now? One reason for this is that American aircraft ships at sea are the best in the world. To give you an idea, 25% of the world's aircraft carriers are American, and their total deck space is more than twice as much as that of all the other countries put together. This power isn't just based on numbers. These carriers, especially the USS Ford class, are the most powerful ships ever built for the Navy. Let's look at what makes these sea monsters, which will soon be able to fly, stand out, such as the USS Gerald Ford has two Bechtel A-1B nuclear reactors in the middle of it. They are the most advanced pieces of maritime engineering, and they power the ship with nuclear power. With this new technology, the USS Ford could possibly keep going for 25 years without having to refuel. By hitting a top speed of about 30 knots, this supercarrier acts as a global watchdog that can quickly reach any country, whether to make peace or destroy enemies. This huge ship in the sky isn't just a carrier, it's also a center for cutting-edge technology. It has the most up-to-date sensors, computers, and weapons, making it the perfect mix of intelligence and firepower. The USS Ford is different from other ships of the same time because it has a device that combines horizon and volume search. The AN-SPY-3 multifunction radar, which is one of the best technologies the U.S. has, makes this possible. This radar device has a huge range and is very flexible. It can be used for surveillance, air traffic control, missile guidance, and finding targets. But that's not all the USS Ford can do. Up to 75 fighter jets and robotic aerial vehicles, UAVs, including the Navy's most valuable plane, the F-35C Lightning II, can be used as a floating fortress. The Pentagon spent a whopping $400 billion on this, the most expensive weapons program ever, to make this fifth-generation Joint Strike Fighter. In the end, a jet that can do a lot of different things, from close air support to vertical takeoff and landing, shows that it is the best at modern air fighting. But the USS Ford is already ready for the future. It has the tools it needs to support the sixth-generation F/A-XX fighter, which will keep it the best ship at sea and in the air. The U.S. Navy wants to do more than just improve its capabilities. In the same way that it is the best at sea, it wants to be the best at controlling the air. A lot of programs have been started to help reach this lofty goal. These real-life flying carriers aren't exactly like the helicarrier from those Marvel movies, but they're the closest humans have come to achieving that goal in 100 years. This path towards new ideas in the sky began in 1917 with tests using microfighters, which were planes attached to airships. They were first meant to protect these airships, but they also set the stage for future work on flying carrier technology. The Boeing 747 airborne aircraft carrier idea from the 1970s was one of these groundbreaking tests. The U.S. Air Force thought about turning this big plane into a flying carrier that could drop and pick up parasite fighters in the air. In the race to make flying aircraft carriers, Lockheed and Boeing emerged as two of the most important companies. Boeing responded with the 747, while Lockheed put forward their C-5 Galaxy. Boeing had an advantage by pointing out the 747's impressive range and endurance, which let it take an impressive 883,000 pounds of cargo. In this way, the 747 could carry up to 10 specially made microfighters. These fighters, which were made to be small enough to store on board, would be sent out from the 747, fought, and then brought back and refueled by the main ship. But there were some problems with this big project. There were concerns about the Boeing microfighters' fuel range and their ability to fight modern threats. Even with these doubts, the plan was technically possible, but it was only talked about in Boeing's reports. Lockheed wanted to change the idea of a flying aircraft carrier so that it wouldn't be beaten. They imagined something like a normal ship that sails on the water, but it would be in the air. With a weight of 5,265 tons and a height of 14 stories. This huge design, the Lockheed CL-1201, would be a real giant in the sky. The plan called for wings that were 1,120 feet long and a fuselage that was 560 feet long, which is the same as laying 2.5 Boeing 747s end-to-end. Interestingly, the Lockheed CL-1201 was only supposed to have 4 big turbofan engines that would run on regular jet fuel. This huge beast was built to go up to heights below 16,000 feet, which shows how committed Lockheed is to pushing the limits of aircraft engineering. Both Boeing's and Lockheed's ideas were big steps forward in flight. They showed how these amazing flying fortresses might be used in the future. Mach 0.8 for an amazing 41 days without stopping to refuel or land. Imagine this huge ship flying at 30,000 feet with a crew of 845, 22 multi-role fighters, and a repair bay that is fully stocked. This innovative plane never made it past the proposal stage, though, because it would have cost a fortune and needed a huge amount of work to build and keep up. But its impact lives on, inspiring both amateurs and professionals in the field of aerospace. The B-36 Peacemaker strategic bomber was another important try in this high-altitude journey. Because the B-36 was meant to carry small fighters, it was going to have up to 4 McDonnell F-85 Goblins. In the 1950s, its huge 230-foot wingspan and 410,000-pound weight, when fully loaded, made it a perfect fit for this job. The B-36 was a huge and powerful plane, but it was never used as a bomber because World War II ended. It also didn't live up to its full promise as a flying aircraft carrier, especially after mid-air refueling technology came out and made regular planes' ranges longer, making the B-36's long range less useful. Currently, DARPA is looking into how to use a modified Lockheed C-130 Hercules to carry Dynetics X-61 Gremlins unmanned aerial vehicles. Launched from a C-130, these microfighters are meant to be retrieved in the air using a special docking method. Even though there have been problems, like when a drone's parachute failed during a test flight, testing at the Dugway Proving Grounds has shown promise. Setbacks like these are seen as manageable in the pursuit of this new idea. This program could change modern combat by letting the U.S. use drones from motherships outside of enemy air defenses if it works. The drones would attack targets and then come back to be caught and fixed. This progress isn't just about making things better, it's also about making the U.S. even more powerful in the sky, adding to its already impressive line of aircraft carriers. Experts say that when flying carriers are added to this fleet, it will become an even stronger armed force in the world. Thanks for taking the time to watch our video. We hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new video from us. We'll see you in the next one.